Alright, we're going to do a little different video for this next video. I'm going to take a student of mine that I just had yesterday and show you what is really going on with the website, what you're trying to do, understanding everything. Let's put all the pieces of the puzzle together here. My student here, golfer in his late 70s, not a very good golfer, about a 27 handicap. Obviously, you can see right away, as you've learned, probably some postural issues here. Lots of little things going on. Once we dive into the swing, you're going to see a lot of things. But the purpose of this video is not to just diagnose this golfer's swing and show you things that you might have in common and how to fix them. We do a lot of that stuff with all the other videos and cause and effect relationships and detecting problems in the golf swing. This is going to show you how to actually improve. This is showing you what I do every single day to produce the dramatic results and changes that you see on the website all the time with all these students. It's not that I'm a miracle worker, as I've mentioned before. I wish I was, but I'm not. What I'm doing is following the system that's laid out on the website that we took a lot of time to create based on how the brain learns new movement patterns. And I'm going to walk you through that so that you understand not only how to improve your golf swing, but how to get the most out of the website. So let's first take a quick breakdown of my golfer's swing here. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but you're going to see a lot of pretty basic problems here. So this was his first swing with a 7-iron that I recorded. He's just warming up here, or he's warmed up, and we're just getting a couple on video to see what we're going to work on. He wouldn't hit the ball unless it was teed up about an inch or inch and a half off the ground because, well, you're going to see why. And so that obviously is pretty tough to play golf once you get off the tee. So let's start the club going back here. As the club goes back, about during the takeaway point, the club's about parallel to the ground here. It's getting a little bit inside. Now we're getting a little bit more inside. Now we're in trouble. We're gonna have problems here. You can see that right arm is really bent back early in the swing. The right wrist is hinged, and the club is very, very, very deep behind him. So now you're gonna start to understand why he wanted to tee the ball up all the time, because he never took a divot, or as he put it, never took a divot on purpose. So as he takes the club back, you see a couple of the little things. We can draw some lines here, but we could be here doing this all day. Obviously, he's going to stand up out of the shot a little bit. His left arm is basically horizontal to the ground at the top. This is the top of his backswing. He's done. So obviously not the best position to be in to strike the ball solidly. And then as he comes down, you're going to notice this right shoulder kind of heave over to try and push from the right. This is that pushing motion that we talk about. He's trying to get the club and arms and everything back out in front of him, and not obviously doing it correctly. And so that's why you see that right shoulder start to dive in there. And then the club is just wide open. Club face is wide open here. We have no lag. The right wrist is almost fully flexed back out. Have no hinge in there, no lag. And then, of course, here comes the dreaded result, the dreaded top. And that's why he wanted to tee the ball up, of course. So the ball didn't go very far. And you can see that obviously he hit it pretty much near the top of the ball. Ball hits the ground just in front of the tee. Tee doesn't come out of the ground. And it's no good. Can't play golf like that. I wouldn't play golf like that. I would quit golf and start fishing. And I hate fishing. I know it's terrible for a lot of you guys who love fishing out there, but if I had to play golf like this, which I know so many of you do, I would definitely quit golf because this is not fun. So now let's see, in an hour lesson, what's realistic. So here's the swing near the end of the lesson. He actually got a couple better shots in where he pured a couple balls right out of the center of the face. I didn't get those on videos. We were working on stuff, but made some postural changes. So this is a 1 hour golf lesson. So a little bit of postural changes. Let's take the club back. Let's take a look at the takeaway. Yeah, that's a little different. Let's take him back where he was earlier. About there. It's about level with the hands. Camera angle's a little off here, but you get the basic ideas. So in an hour, we've moved the club about 3 feet. That's pretty dramatic. Club's out in front of him. His right arm is straight. The right wrist is in a good position. Huge differences here so far. He's turning. Everything's a big difference. Now, Club's starting to go up, almost right through his forearm. This one's through his belt. There's definitely a difference here in these club positions. Stops turning here a little bit. Nothing's perfect yet. This is an hour golf lesson, remind you. But there's the top of the swing now. Now, a lot of you golfers out there say, oh, I'm not flexible enough to get into the right positions, or I'm too old to learn something new. I don't ever want to hear you say it again. That's a terrible excuse. I'm proving it here with somebody who's almost 80 years old, that you can get in a dramatically better position in 1 hour, and you can do it without having to fly to Florida or Colorado to work with me if you start to understand how to use the website correctly and how I teach, and that's what this video is all about. So, a little different position here at the top, to say the least. Club face is in a slightly different position compared to where it was extremely shut here. Now, obviously, still got some bad habits in here, but he doesn't have the big right shoulder hunge from the top here. Obviously, in an hour, I can't fix everything. Starts to come down, still losing a lot of lag, but here's a different thing. He actually took a divot on purpose, hit down on the ball, and look what happens to the ball. The ball's up in the air. We can play golf from there. You're not going to go out and shoot 65, but trust me, it's a lot more fun than doing this. So, how did we get Tiger Woods working over here? Starts like this. Here's what we did for about after these first couple videos, I walked him through and said, look, here's what's going on. We got to diagnose the problem. Here's how we fix it. We got to fix your takeaway first and your setup, obviously. Did those two things, and for about 10 minutes, this is all he did. So for 10 minutes, we sat here and worked on the takeaway without a golf club, without a golf ball, without any distractions. I just made him do this over and over again, and I constantly provided correction. Get your hands here, do this with your arms, do this with your wrists. All this takeaway stuff is, in detail on the website, so you have all the information that I gave him. I just sat there and watched him do it and made him do it correctly, and made him do it over and over again, and do it perfect every single time. Once I felt that he had the takeaway pretty well mastered without doing anything else, without a golf club, then the next step was to stack that another 10, 15 minutes with trying to finish going to the top. Again, no golf club, no ball, lots of reps, lots of focus, making him really pay attention to what he's doing here, to feel the right things. But more importantly, it's stacking things. We started here first. Nothing but the takeaway. This is it. This is the end of the video. It's as far as he could go. He got to turn around, look back, make sure his hands are in the right position, his arms are in the right position, his body's turned, so on and so forth. Then we stack it, and we say, okay, now I'm going to see if you can juggle two things. Let's try to go all the way to the top. And he could, and that's where we stopped. And we did that for about 15 minutes. And then came back, no golf ball, and said, okay, you're doing great there. Threw a little club down here as a guide for him on the takeaway. Wow, that's dramatically different. That's dramatically different. And that's dramatically different. Is it absolutely perfect? No. But this guy's been swinging like this and is obviously very high handicap for a very long time. But it's a dramatic improvement. And then we did this for about 10 or 15 minutes. So by now, in this hour-long lesson, I've spent probably 45 minutes without him hitting a single golf ball, apart from the couple that he hit just to get some diagnostic stuff. Then we went in and we started hitting golf balls. And at first, every swing wasn't perfect. This is somewhere in the middle here. We were making adjustments. Had to get the takeaway dialed in a little bit better, but certainly it's better than this guy. And then we had to work on the top of the swing and so on and so forth. So the point to this is, anybody, no matter your flexibility, no matter your age, no matter what you've done or how long you've done it, can make radically different changes in less than an hour in your golf swing. All the information that I gave him, that he paid me $200 an hour to sit out and sweat to death in the Florida heat on the range with him, is the exact same stuff that's on the website. The difference is I forced him to do it in the right sequence and go back from step one. Let's get this set up right. Once the setup's right, let's make sure the grip's right. Then let's make sure the takeaway's right, and so on and so forth. And once we stacked all these things, we were able to get these types of results, take a divot on purpose, hit down on the ball, get the ball up in the air, we can play some golf. That's what you guys have to do on the website. You have to understand that everything on there is on there in sequence for a reason. So when you log into the website, When you start watching those videos in order, don't just go through and watch them all. That doesn't do you any good. If you go out there and watch all 200 videos on their website, you've done absolutely nothing. You've not gotten your $15 worth. There's tons of information in there, and that's certainly worth a lot. But as far as changing your golf swing, that's not where change happens by you sitting here watching a bunch of videos. This is where change happens. So don't go through phase 1 videos and just say, oh, okay, I got it. Now let's go on to phase 2. Oh, I got it. Okay, phase 3. It doesn't work that way. It's not how your brain learns. Your brain learns by through repetition and doing things correctly, continuing to repeat it, and get the process oriented in the right direction so that you're making real changes. You're learning a new movement pattern, which is what the golf swing is. It's not about hitting balls or putting the club in positions. You got to learn to move differently. Learn a new movement pattern. Go through those videos step by step. If your setup's good, start working on rotation. If your rotation's good, start working on the takeaway videos, and so on and so forth, until you can get to this point. And then you can see in an hour, if you're doing the stuff correctly, you can make dramatic changes. So the question that I pose to you is, are you going through the videos and just watching them to absorb a bunch of intellectual information, or are you going through the videos and working through them step by step over time? I have a lot of guys who come up and in the first week they watch all the videos and say, okay, I got it, now what do I do? And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? You couldn't have possibly worked through those videos, because this is for him to own this and get all of this stuff dialed in and get it perfect, which he can do, is going to take months, which means you need to, phase 1 alone and just getting the setup right is going to take a couple weeks for most people to own it, to where you can sit here and do it and tell me what you had for breakfast and still do it right and not be distracted by it. That's when you own a movement pattern. But if you just go through and watch all the videos, it's not going to do us any good. So what I want to do is make sure that all of you, if you have questions about how to go through the videos, let us know. We'll try and continue to organize it and refine it more so that you can make progress like this. But if you're just going through and machine gunning the videos and just watching them all right away and saying, okay, I got the Rotary Swing Tour down, it's a piece of cake, trust me, you don't. Go through the sequence step by step, learn the takeaway, then stack the rest of it on there, so on and so forth. And if you've had a chance to see what Bill is doing on the online learning groups, you see how disciplined he's making each student be on there to work through everything piece by piece. He doesn't let you move on until you got this piece worked out. Just like I didn't let my student work on until he could get his arms perfectly where they needed to be, exactly as it's laid out in the takeaway video, because that is how you produce real world results like this, where you're actually hitting a golf ball. So if you have any questions, let us know, but you need to make sure that you go through those videos in the right sequence, in the right order, and then you can make real world changes to your golf swing.